What's the strangest story you have about door knocking in Polk County? Do you have a strange story about door knocking in Polk County?
Well, I do.
Okay.
It wasn't Polk County that we do it. We in Polk County took a school bus of black people to Waterloo. The reason we did, because they were rioting in Waterloo, and the people in Waterloo didn't want to canvass. So we're going to show them. Well, we got the school bus. We had about 20 or 30 people that had worked in our, and of course, I think sometimes we paid people a little bit to canvass, especially in something like that. And we clacked to lunch. We had a good time. But it was kind of a bad thing in Waterloo. They were having big riots there, and they didn't want to get out on the street, and they were a little afraid. But it was the afternoon, and I'm on one side, and Jim Brick's on the other. He was a good friend of mine and a good lawyer. I don't know if you know who Jim Brick is.
Well, I know Jim, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're knocking on the doors, and I look around, and pretty soon Dick wasn't there. And I thought, oh, my God, what's happened? I call this my dance story. So he comes loping out. He's got a peculiar walk. He comes looking out. He's a good block behind, 2 blocks behind me. And I said, where in the hell you been? He said, you won't believe what happened to me. I said, what happened to you? He said, well, I knocked on this door, and this woman come to the door, and a record was playing. She said, come on in. And she started dancing with me. And, of course, it was in that segment. And so she was dancing with him, and at the same time, her boyfriend or husband or whoever came home and said, who are you? He says, I'm your Democratic precinct worker. He said, what'd you say, honky?
What's the funniest story you know about the Polk County Democrats? Is there anyone that you can think of there that struck you funny or not?
Well, yeah. I got a couple of them.
Okay.
Lex was chairing the convention, the county convention. I was the chair, but he was the chairman of the convention. And so we had at that point there was a lot of dissension in the party, you know, McCarthy and this and that. And so there was a lot of competition for the chair. But anyway, there was kind of a big old mobby guy, and in fact, he was a Teamster, and I think you remember his name, but he's almost a friend of Jimmy Hoffa's, and I think rumor was that he was a better friend of Jimmy Hoffa's wife, or Jimmy Hoffa's daughter. But anyway, Lex was started to tear off. He says, okay, we're going to be ruled by Robert's rule of orders. So somebody jumped in and said, there you go, trying to control the whole convention again. And so he started for Lex. And somebody just knocked the hell out of him, just flat on the floor. And Lex said, get the delegate, Sergeant at Arms, get the delegate off the convention floor. One other thing, it was a district convention at the Fort Des Moines Hotel. This involved me. You know, our conventions last the wee hours of the morning.
Yes.
And too bad when they had a bar down there, because people get kind of drunk and ruly. And so I was about ready to go home, and I was walking down the stairs, and 2 guys were beating up on this guy. So, you know, me, I'm a hero. So I run and pulled him off. The guy that was beating on him pulled him off, and we all 3 kind of rolled down the stairs there at the Fort Des Moines Hotel that goes into the mezzanine down, or as it goes into the lobby. And, of course, I get up, and this guy comes after me. And this is where I'm out dancing boxing. I keep going in and out and run, get about around the room there about twice. And Sam Wise, who was mayor in Altoona, just knocked him flat on his tail. And about that time, the cops were coming in the front door, and so we scurried out the other door.
One of the things that Jerry Crawford said was, as a county chair, he used to have 22 summer jobs that he could give out as patronage. You know, did you ever have any county jobs that you were able to give out? Was that part of your...
No, but what we did, is another good story. When Hughes got elected, we had mostly people in the courthouse for that time that were Democrats, and when Hughes got elected, why, it was Lex's position that we weren't going to hire, and they were wanting to hire a lot of people at the State House, the Democrats, so Lex issued the edict that I was county chair at the time, I think, but I was to interview these people and okay them and sign, and then they had to get their precinct people to sign on to them in order to get their job at the State House. Well, I'm getting about 10 or 15 people, 20 people a day, and I'm trying to practice law in my office, and hell, I think, well, I'll just get them all in there at once. And so that 4 o'clock that afternoon, they all walked in, and I give them my pitch about, well, you know, we'll certainly get this done, but we'd like to have you help us. We have 2 events a year for dinner party or for fundraisers, and we'd like to have it maybe cost you about $20. Would you agree to do that? Yes, and then I'd sign on. And I said, are there any other questions? And there's about 15 people in my little office. It was crowded. And a guy raised his hand. He said, I came in for a divorce. You probably think I'm making these up, but I'm really not.
No,
I might embellish a little bit.
I know you too well. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how much time you spent at your law practice during that last few weeks?
Well, I was having a hard time with that before the last 2 weeks. Trouble is, you get involved in the politics of this thing, and it's hell to go back to your office and try to read our abstract. You know, get too involved with the excitement of what you're doing. So.
And then our one final question. The state conventions were many, many years held at Fett's Auditorium. There's no truth to the rumor that you let people play cards at your law office right across the street during the state convention, and then you'd run over there and do a vote, and then come back and play cards some more, is there?
It wasn't cards, it was drinking.
I was trying to let you off the hook.
Well, anyway, but we had somebody flag us, you know. Our office is right across from the convention. And we'd get over there if there was a vote that we should be over there for, because these conventions lasted quite a while.
Yes.
And I know I was worried one time because we had this big, nice table in my library, and all of our liquor was on there. And of course, the secretary said I knew to give me hell for. So I thought, well, I'll sweep over there right when I got up the next morning and get that cleaned up. And I walk in there. And there's Tony DeLacca laying on the damn table, sleeping. So I woke him up and I sent him on his way. But it must have been about 9 o'clock or so.
How many people would you usually have over there during the state convention?
Oh, I think we could get many as 30 in that room.
And if there's
pretty good sized library.
Is there an important vote? Somebody just got on the payphone and called you, and you came back over.
What's that?
If there's an important vote, they just call you on the payphone and you come on over.
We had signals that we could get over there pretty quick.
Okay.